And yeah, thanks everybody that keeps supporting the show. That way we keep bringing you more episodes. Everybody that reposts, everybody that shares. And everybody that makes it happen. Dronebox, Nolan and Louis, Ashley, everybody over here. Shout outs. So yeah, you want to tell us a little bit what's going on down there on the canvas?
Yeah, so right now I was laying out just my foundations for Rolling Hills background with the spray can in the middle, just to basically create something with the contrast between a giant spray can and just a kind of a boring landscape, you know. And what I'll usually do is I'll add some kind of cityscape back in the background, just because I sometimes show the distance between the city and like the concrete jungle into the nature, and then bring in one element, which is the spray can. Because, you know, in nature, the spray can wouldn't have very much use, you know, unless you're defacing rocks and stuff like that. But that's kind of more painful. Yeah, trees, very limited. As we're living in the city, that's a giant canvas. So it's just a quick contrast of a somewhat surrealism of a can existing in nature.
That's good.
By itself.
There you go. Audience, for you guys watching from home, that's what's going on right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're on the second half of the Eskwilax Hour. Even though it's 2 hours, it's like still named the Eskwilax Hour.
Oh.
We used to be like an hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But 2 hours now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, hour is just a term, right? It's the name of a show.
Right now, usually as an artist, you know, you'll just like, you'll lose focus, you lose like on time, and you'll go from like 30 minutes, it's like 8 hours later, you're just like, damn.
Still right at this one place, yeah. Exactly. So this gave me a reference point. Yeah. Right.
And you got some of these, right?
Oh yeah, I got the Molotov. I got a bunch of those. I go to RD in La Habra. Their prices are crazy. The best prices anywhere. Yeah, the best. I'm picking up the small ones for $3. The big ones, like the full-size ones, are $4.
That's good.
Yeah, their cans, they sell all their cans, 94s. Even their Beltons, the higher price cans are under $7, $6. You're paying $5 for 94s.
Did you turn it back on? Oh, all right. Yeah. Sometimes we forget. Right? That's how you know we're live, because you know, we make mistakes.
Yeah, the supplies, they hook it up with supplies.
That's good.
I love that place. It's a drive, though.
The full name, what was it?
RD, Artist Supplies in La Habra.
Shout outs to RD, Artist Supplies over there in La Habra.
Yeah, La Habra, La Mirada. I think it's La Mirada. It's in that area.
But I'm pretty sure you can find them online, right?
Yeah, Facebook, online, RD Artists. RD Artist Supplies.
I look them up, too.
Yeah.
Because you say that's good, yeah.
Oh, their prices are, I mean, so most of the shops out here get their cans from them. Oh. Yeah, and so when I have to buy one can, and I go to a shop out here and they want to charge me like $8 for a can.
It's $8.
And I'm like, that's steep, you know, I could save $2, but if you only need one can, driving all the way out there is not worth it.
Yeah, you're pretty much spending on gas.
Exactly. Right? So I always try to go out there with at least, you know, intend to buy 6 cans or more.
For like a mural project, man.
Right, or just to have them on deck. It's always nice to collect, you know. I always love to have the freedom. I have a lot of different supplies. I also look for a lot of my supplies online. OfferUp, Craigslist. There's a lot of art students that they buy all these kits and then they don't want to do it. You know, they drop out.
They drop out, yeah. I was gonna say.
They'll give you a good deal on their stuff. I mean, I bought, you know, all my drawing pads, sketching pads. I buy them for pennies on the dollar. I mean, even this whole little kit of miniature Liquitex paints, I think I paid $15 for all of these. You know, and they're small, but they go a long way, you know, less mixing. You know, I could just pop a color and use it. Before I would just go with like 10 different colors and make my own, but I spend half the time on the palette instead of on the canvas.
Yeah.
But I always try to look for things used. I love buying my stuff secondhand. My most of my easels are used. You know, I love to
Where do you
reuse
usually
things.
find them? Craigslist?
Craigslist, OfferUp, I just look everywhere. Yard sales. Anytime I'm driving by a yard sale and I see like a frame
It's
or a
just
fit,
kind yeah.
I pull out, hey, if it's a canvas, I could buy it, real cheap and then gesso it, paint it. Some people say, how can you gesso somebody else's art? I'm all, well, because, it's at a yard sale. Let's keep it
fair
pushing,
game.
and it's recycling. We don't need to keep creating more new stuff. Like you said, we have so much excess. I found great deals. Like this one lady had a whole trailer full of art supplies, and she was relocating to like Utah, and she couldn't take none of it. She was retiring. She was old, and we're gonna retire with her kids. And she sold me canvases for like $1 a piece. And they had her
Damn.
studies on them from art school. I just covered them up and kept it pushing. And that was a good opportunity because supplies can get pretty expensive. Very expensive.
Hey, it's always good to find a deal.
Right? I also look for like places that are shutting down.
Yeah.
You can find like old tiles. Like East LA College redid their theater, and they had ceiling tiles, and they were kind of like a composite material, but they had stacks of them. I mean, just like stacks as high, almost as tall as me. So I just took tons of them, and I just paint on those. And the beauty about those is sometimes you don't have to cover them up. Sometimes the texture alone is nice to paint on top of. So you have some not dusty, but old, weathered texture. Then you paint something fresh and new and bright on top of it. It's a good way to contrast, and you save time on painting, the surface and prepping it.
What is also good, like you're mentioning, like it's recycling it. Like, just I have a friend who he will like look for like old doors and stuff in the alleys, and you'll turn them into something dope. Like he'll paint on them and like create a whole new.
Even give it a better purpose than it had when it was originally made.
Exactly. Somebody said hi from New York.
What's up, New York?
Yeah.
East Coast, huh?
Yup. And why? Have you ever been out there?
East Coast? No. No East Coast. I've only been to Texas and Mexico
What
and
part of
Nevada.
What part of Mexico?
Just like Baja, like Rosarito, Puerto Nuevo. My wife and I plan to buy a trailer on the beach when we retire right there and just south of Rosarito. Just live my life right there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't get any better food than that. And you could get a house for 20 grand on the beach.
Damn.
Right? Same water that the people in Santa Monica are paying for. Same ocean.
For $1 million.
Right? Or more. So yeah, we like to vacation there and hang out. It's the easy life. I just chill, you know. It's hard to relax when you stay, even when you're at home. It's still kind of hard to relax sometimes. You know, you got a lot of the pressures of just life.
Living in the city.
Right? I mean, I love it. I love living in the city. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but it's tough. It could be kind of grinding sometimes. But if I ever went to New York, I'd love to go do some graffiti out there. Go out to New York and do a mural or something. That would be cool.
Well, yeah, that's one of the main reason I learned about New York, you know, like the graph scene that they used to have back when it started. That one dude, what's his name? Cornbread?
Cornbread,
You know?
yeah. Cornbread.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, Milwaukee, you ever been to New York? Oh, yeah. Did we mention that last time? I didn't ask. Last time I didn't ask. Yeah, when you came on. We didn't mention it, right? That you've been to New York. What is that? What's that called? No, the character. Oh, Keith Haring. Yeah, that's, the dude with the the stick people. Yeah, right. Mando, you know Keith Haring, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Herring, he's pretty good. Very,
Yeah.
very tremendous.
He started back in the graph, no?
I mean, in a sense, yeah,
Like
he do a lot of street,
street
a
art.
lot of street art,
Yeah,
right?
that's what he was started.
And he was able to do a lot, you know, because his drawing was so fluid in the
Yeah.
practice, and it's one of those artists that doesn't have to do so much detail work, but can still make such a tremendous statement, you know.
Yeah, he's dope. Do you have an artist that had like a major influence?
I would say Crayola, Craig Simpkins, because his surrealism is really good. I mean, it's something I aspire to be able to do. He just, the way he puts his ideas. Also, Jeremy Fish. Jeremy Fish is a guy who mixes a lot of nature, animals with like cars and motorcycles and stuff, and it's really creative work. And his painting is very straight and very non-transparent, so it looks like it's print, you know. And it's really the creativity. Most of the artists that I like the most are gonna be surrealist artists like Dali.
Yeah, I
You know,
would say Dali. That's
Dolly's a really great artist. I mean, he was just expanding things beyond anybody's, even their comfort zones. You know, so I really like people that are able to create, and I feel that creativity is that they're actually being able to put what's in their head onto canvas. You know, and that's always pretty cool. So those are like some of my favorites. You know, and then you got Sainer Etam. He's a graffiti artist. He does like graphic style graffiti art though. Like there's a Korn video, Follow the Leader.
Yeah.
And it's kind of this like washed out, what's that filter on cameras that they use a lot of? It's kind of like a vintage look, and he does a lot of work like that. But he does a lot of political stuff and a lot of, you know, cultural. He addresses a lot of cultural issues. So yeah, he's really good. Just that one is mostly because of his technique. The technique is really beautiful and serene. I like serenity in my pieces. And I think that's why I've stuck with acrylic so much, because my vibrancy is subtle, and I'm comfortable with that. You know, even when I try to do very heavy colored pictures, they all seem to have the same tone, you know, which is kind of opposite of me trying to express contrast.
Yeah.
But I think I like to challenge myself. I've done that with a lot of things in my life, making it probably harder than it needed to be. You know, it's like the bicycle I ride is very, very tough to ride, but I don't give it up yet. I'm still young enough to ride it until one day I said, okay, time to sell this bicycle and get something easier to ride. Well, sometimes with the, you know, the whole YouTube and access to information, people tend to lean towards instant gratification for when they're trying to hone a craft or a hobby, or even just trying to get to a level of representation. They want it very instant. They're rarely putting in the work that it takes, the suffering, the hating the shit that you're doing because you want to get better at it, but it takes time to learn.
Yeah, it's like you have to paint 1,000 canvases.
Yeah,
and just paint 2, 3, and then.
And they're ready to jump in and do this and do that and jump to the next level. It's like, no, you know. I mean, I love showing and shows, and it's a lot of fun, you know, to have people looking at your work and you know, hearing comments, or even when they buy it. It's really it's you know, it's cool. But where it comes to the real payoff is me being able to access and do the work. You know, there's a few pieces I've never shown, and I consider those my best pieces, my favorite pieces, and I don't really have any motivation to show them ever. You know, I mean, my godson loves it. He's 9 months old and he just stares at it.
Yeah.
So I think that's enough appreciation for me. But, you know, sometimes I get stuck in painting what I think people want to see, and that's kind of a dangerous walk for me.
Yeah, that's
you know, I'm not motivated by my inspiration. I'm motivated on a turnover, you know. And if anything somebody knows about art is, it's probably near to impossible to survive and make a lot of money. You know, it happens. There's a lot of people out there making money, but it's a lot of work. And most of us don't make a lot of money from it, right? Most of us are working another job, finding ways to save money, doing everything we can to try to keep it from just a hobby, you know.
Yeah, and then you don't want to lose it either.
Right.
As an artist, that's something that you never want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I got to be grateful that we live, you know, it is a tough society, you know, where people are focused on the wrong things sometimes. but it's also advantageous is that I can have access to stuff. You know, I have all this extra things. I get to wake up and decide what I'm going to eat today. You know, I'm very fortunate in that way, where there's some people that are waking up deciding if they're going to eat today.
Yeah.
You know, and I should never take, you know, forget that my choices are a privilege. Even know how much I may disagree or want to protest this or disagree or have an opinion about this, you know, I'm still grateful to the access I have. You know, I get to be lazy. I don't have to fight for my food. I don't have to kill an animal. I don't have to, you know, protect my water rights. You know, I mean, we have to protect our rights, but not the way there's some people who are protecting that one well for the whole village, or, you know, those access to non-pollutions and stuff in just everyday living. So I realize I'm a spoiled American, like many of us. But hopefully with that idea, I can learn a way to show my appreciation for that and give back in any way that I can. Make sacrifices that are real. Because a lot of times our sacrifices can be limited to a certain threshold. You know, I'm not going to get that uncomfortable, but I'll help you a little bit. You know, I'll give you $2, not $20. You know. And I got to make sure that I keep in mind, perspective is very important.
You said you're gonna paint live also next month?
Oh yeah, at the, what is it called? Beyond, no.
The Life Without Barriers?
Life Without Barriers show, yeah. I'm gonna set up a booth, but I'm gonna have live painting, you know, I'll just have some of my artwork. But yeah, I was lucky enough to watch one of your shows where you had them on, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, so I started following them. He had open call, and I did that application.
Nice.
You know, I did it real quick. At first, I wanted to be in the live painting for the judging and stuff, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna. My last day is Sunday at work, so I'm like, no, I need to make some more food money. So,
are you gonna have the what do you call it, like the smaller paintings?
Yeah, I'm gonna have like all the work that I have. I probably have about 25 or 30 pieces that I take to little art shows and show them. I might have a few prints. I tried prints a long time ago, but I just wasn't happy with them. They're a bad attempt. They were only dot matrix printed, as opposed. I didn't go expensive like a Z-Clay or anything, but it just wasn't where I wanted to be. So I stopped making prints. A lot of people tell me I should, but I'm like, maybe I could find a way to paint original stuff that's quick and easy that I can let people buy for a very affordable price. You know. I think people should, instead of having a print from Target on a canvas, maybe you could have an original art by a local artist, you know, and not have to pay an arm and a leg for it. Because when you go to museums, like when you go to the Modern Art Museum, let's say like the Geffen or something, you see a lot of artwork, but the disconnection is that we can't own it.
Yeah.
We can only look at it, and we can't even, sometimes you can't even take a picture of it. You know, sometimes you get too close and somebody comes and tells you you're getting too close, you know. And that's a very big disconnection, and I thought that's kind of sad, because if anybody needs a motivation with art in their life, it's the struggling people, the people that are working hard. You know, they should be uplifted as much as they can so that they can keep their struggle going. So I do a lot of my work that I make very low price, just because I'd rather have someone, you know, have that, and if they like it. I mean, I remember I had a kid, I did the Warriors movie. In the opening scene, there's the wheel. The Wonder Wheel. Yeah. So I painted that on top of a black canvas, and he really liked it. And he was looking at it, and you know, he says, "One day I wish I could buy it." And he was there with his young wife, I assume, and his kid, baby. And then I said, well, why don't you make me an offer? He's like, no, I don't want to make you too low of an offer.
Yeah.
I said, don't worry, just offer me anything. He's like, how about $10? I said, you give me $13, you could have it. So he gave me $13 and he was happy. He walked away holding it as he walked away looking at it. I'm like, that was worth, you know, I could have did it for 10, you know, but I wanted the 13.
Yeah, because then you would have just taken it back and
put it up on my wall and let it sit there, you know. So if he likes it, he's going to put it somewhere nice, and that's really cool.
And yeah, and you were able to tell that he really wanted it, you know, like.
Yeah, and I know how it is to be young and have, you know, very limited funds, you know. But that doesn't mean we can't appreciate and have nice things.
No, it's good that you take that in mind. The fact that, you know, one time you were on that side.
Yeah.
You're like, man, how do I make that kind of art, or how do I?
Shit, sometimes I'm still on that side. You know, money's, you know, it comes and goes sometimes. But I learned early that sometimes it's kind of a waste trying to chase the money all the time. You know, and if you spend too many hours chasing it, when do you get to appreciate it? And who do you appreciate it with, you know? But every day they're telling us, go get this, go buy this, you need this to be better. You know?
It's a struggle.
It is.
Going against that.
Struggle trying to find out what's the right thing to do.
You're being bombarded by all this stuff.
Definitely bombarded. And it works. People eat it up.
Because they get you the subconscious.
Yeah, so you don't even know you're eating it up.
Yeah.
Right?
That desk is, well, not much the desk, but that tag has been famous because it's been featured in so many shows. It's right there.
Oh, that one?
The
It's like a character on the show, huh?
No, they bought that at a thrift store, I think, and it was already hit up. So like whoever Nessa Warner, it's been getting fame all this time.
Oh yeah, Nisa Warner. That's pretty cool.
Whoever Nisa Warner is,
right?
Getting famous, man. Old school Krylon.
Yeah. It's a quick and easy reference. It's like the way we used Ernest Shackleton is just a reference to an explorer.
Yeah.
I think that making the color palette of a Krylon and the oval helps people of like all walks of life quickly identify.
I actually found a spot like a few years ago where they still had.
The old school?
Yeah, like, and they were like $4, $3.
Dang.
It was a paint store like for gardening or something. It was just like random tool place. It wasn't like one of those big chain ones.
Oh, cool, like a mom and pop shop, huh?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh shit, they have Krylon, like.
The old school cans, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Big Dick's Hardware in Gardena, that's a slick shop. He carries some of the vintage Krylon still. But I think he charges a little bit more because he gets them, you know, at a special location or something. But the way the cans are now, especially low pressure, they're just, it's a whole different world when it comes to painting. And the way the tips are, I mean, back in the days, you had to cut your own tip, you know, to try to make a flare or pull it off of a window cleaner or something else, you know?
Window cleaner, yeah, that's where.
Right? We'd get the snowballs before were like those window cleaner ones. And now you can buy like 50 different tips, you know, and you can actually pick them out, designer tips.
Yeah.
You know, I bought a can one time that had a calligraphy tip on it,
Yeah, the calligraphy too.
right? And it's like, it's you know, it's pretty intense. And it's good though. And you know, we should be. I'm grateful that development has come. You
It
know,
creates a new level also, just because like people actually start doing like crazier shit with it.
yeah, exactly. Everything has to evolve. I mean, you look at sports, you look at skateboarding from the '90s to now. Sheesh, or BMX, freestyle BMX is intense. You know, but they weren't. You know, everything evolves. Even football and the corporate sports, their players also break records. They change things. They change things up. How often do these shows run? Every month or every week? The Eskwilax Hour.
It's every Friday.
Every Friday is a new episode?
Yeah. So I pretty much put the shout out, and then I'll schedule somebody at least 2-3 weeks ahead.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it's just whoever's down to come on and share their ideas, their work. Like especially like the vendors, like I don't know. Do you know Ninoska?
Oh, Hannibal?
Yeah. You see, like I would see him at the East
Like
LA.
everywhere.
Yeah, at the East LA Art Walk.
Oh, yeah.
And, and I'm like, maybe want to learn a little bit more about why they do it and who they are as artists.
Oh, yeah, they have a good story behind it and what they do. And
Yeah. You see, if I would have just never interviewed them, I wouldn't have learned so much about them. That it's a deeper.
right? Yeah, Ninoska art. Yeah, it's a much deeper thing, and it's really cool. Like when you hear the story, you feel honored that he shared it with you, you know, or she shared it with you. But if you follow them, they're everywhere. There's some days where they're at 2 shows, one day, you know, and I always have a little tough thing with like craft fairs, you know, and you get those people who do aprons and stuff, and I don't want to knock on anybody's art. It is what it is, but with Ninoska, the way he does his style and the way they create, both of them create their art, it's kind of neat, you know. And I don't mind the mass production that they do it. They do it a right way, you know. He has that monthly show at Mal's Bar.
Mal's Bar, yeah.
Yeah, and it's super affordable. Like he hooks up people. He makes.
Still haven't made it out there, but I know that
he does that monthly show. Yeah, you should check it out. I'm gonna go next month to the Morrissey one, on the 18th, I think it is, and that's gonna be a fun show. I just got to think about, okay, how can I translate Morrissey into art for myself? You know.
Some miniatures.
Right.
So yeah, that's like one of the ideas behind this. It's like so people get to know a little bit more about the artists and who they are. And then once we have it live right now, and then we put it on YouTube, so it's there.
Right. Yeah, I was watching the past episodes that way, checking out all the different artists and stuff. It's really cool.
We had I used to do it on my own. It was just me like painting with spray paint. Yeah.
And then you just started opening up to different venues and
Well,
people.
I used to do a lot of art shows in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
And then I remember like a couple of the guys, I'm like, hey, you guys have some time, come through. But it's pretty far, Long Beach.
Yeah, the commutes, right?
And then and the good thing is they made it. Like,
oh, nice.
and then kind of snowballed because I started getting more requests, people trying to come through, just
to share what they're doing, right?
yeah. And I'm like, all right, you mean, that's why I say when I say local artists, I mean just like everybody who's able to make it. Like if you're coming from, like Chucky, I think he came from San Isidro.
Oh wow, that's a mission. That's like
Yeah.
a couple hours right there.
And then we also have like a couple of artists that are like just from Boyle Heights. Like dude named Palomares.
Oh yeah, Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, his work is really good. Yeah, I think I watched his episode. I met him at the Saints and Sinners show at Avenue 50, where he did like the Metro driver.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the other
yeah.
homeboy, like big pieces though. I'm talking about 3 foot by 4 foot, and they were really good. You know, I love his balloons. His balloon
that's
studies
his,
are cool.
Well, yeah, in the episode he was telling us about his balloons, the why, like what they symbolize.
Right.
And his studio's just like down the street from here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's local. So yeah, it just comes down to like everybody starts linking up. Everybody.
Yeah, that's what's pretty cool. Like, you know, everybody, there's like a network, a community in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I get from Eska. There's like about 5 or 6 of us that are, you know, up and coming artists, you know, just doing our own thing. And we support each other like a family. We even have like Christmas party and shit like that. But very supportive, you know. And the beauty about when we do our art, it's not like work where I have to agree with people or do this or that or, you know, earn the money basically. Here, I could do what I want, how I feel, you know. And that's one thing about freedom is I don't have to compromise myself when I do this. If I don't like something, I just don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, don't have to be confrontational. I don't need to take it home and be upset about it. I could just be like, no, I'm cool, I'm out. No more fight, all flight. I'll save the fighting for where it needs to be.
My friend, he's a surreal artist. He said, "What's up?"
Oh, what's up, man?
We switched to Instagram Live.
Oh, Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
You got. He's using acrylic. Somebody was asking what medium you're using.
Yeah, acrylic.
Acrylic. Sonji, what's up, Sonji? Thanks to everybody who's still watching Mando Paint Live. Everybody for tuning in. We got about 15 minutes left, so
Ooh.
no rush. You can always, I don't know if you clamp it, it might damage it, but
Oh, no, it's cool. I only need one hand for this part.
All right, everybody. We got like 2 minutes left. Thank you for watching. Mondo here. He worked on his piece. Oh, look, I didn't read it. It says the Eskwilax Hour. That's dope, man. Thank you for the hit up right there. And you guys could, you said you're on Instagram, right? And but under, is it Mondo?
Follow me at Mondo59420.
Mondo at 59420.
Yeah.
So that was where you can catch them. Do you do any commission work or?
Yeah, commission work. Message me on there. Instant message me.
And you guys like one of the Krylons, that type?
Anything they want, really. Yeah, anything they want. You just let me know. We work together, and it's affordable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, very affordable. I even trade for food sometimes.
Valentine's Day is coming up. You know,
right.
Get those paintings. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by. We hope to see you in a future episode again. We're always open to like bringing back artists that been on once, twice, 3 times, however many times, and we just have to like, you know, make time.
Right. It was a great honor. Definitely. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
No, thank you for doing your work with the kids and all that.
Oh yeah.
Organizations. Yeah, you're like that's what like we want. That's what the more artists put out there. I mean, like I was mentioning, the funding, all that cutting, you know,
the
for
more our programs.
People like yourself that are out there doing it on your own. That's, you know, we thank you.
It's definitely, that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't feel good doing